Let's go ahead and get started. So today this is a combination of our quick hits presentation. If you've ever been to our symposium before, this is a very fast moving conversation that's going over a lot of the features that many of our users may not know about or may have forgotten about. So just a few quick housekeeping items. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat. We have someone monitoring the chat and they'll try to answer your question, provide you, where to go to find that information, or we'll escalate it and then we'll reach out to you afterwards if it seems to be a big issue. The other thing that's important to know is, yes, this is fast moving, but it's recorded, and we're going to send out all the recordings on Monday of next week. We are going to be sharing the slides as well. So if you find the slides helpful or looking for additional information, we will be sharing that. And the other thing, we do have at the top of each slide navigation, meaning how do you get to that particular feature at the top of the slides when we're talking about a particular feature. So with that out of the way, I am Bryan Jenkins. So I'm the sales lead of GiveSignup and RunSignup, and I am tasked with this behemoth of 75 slides. So I'm going to go ahead and start rolling through these slides. So our agenda today, we're going to talk about some of our best features for Run Walk Rides, considerations for 2021, which will still be somewhat of a unique year, how to best tackle fundraising, Run Walk Rides, Run Walk Ride communications, ticket events, general event marketing, event day or race day, and then beyond events, just a couple ways we can help you raise more funds. So the first thing, and the only thing, if you remember from this presentation, is the search. So in the RunSignup admin dashboard, we have a search feature. So you can search for a particular, say, coupons, you want to find that. That's on the top left-hand corner of your navigation, and then on the top right-hand corner is the ability to search by name, bib, or email. So if a participant just sends you an email saying my t-shirt size is wrong, you could just drop in that email address and quickly find that participant. So features for Run Walk Rides. Live in-person events are back. So one of the feedback that we have received quite a bit over the years is that we keep adding features and the navigation has gotten a little out of control. So what we did is, if you're a new user to our platform, we've made simple navigation, we've got expanded navigation, and then you also can customize your navigation to pick particular menu items that show up in your dashboard. And the reason for that is so that maybe things that aren't very useful for you or not needed at all are hidden from your navigation. But if you had a particular item you wanted to add, you could do that. So year-over-year comparisons. This is a feature that normally is very, very helpful. I think this year it'll be a little different because 2020 was an off year for a number of people, but we do show the number of registrations that you had this year versus last year with number of days remaining in the past 7 days, 30 days, etc. So it's a good way to see if you're on track. And you would click on the actual signups icon in the top right-hand corner, and it'll expand out this navigation and show you all these great details. So standard questions. One of the things that if you're new to the platform, that you'll ask is, hey, I need to collect emergency contact name and phone number, and you may think that you would need to set that up as a custom question. We actually have these as checkboxes that you can enable within our questions section that allows us to collect the emergency contact name and phone number. And we can even associate that with the user's profile so that if they sign up for multiple events, we already have emergency contact name and phone number. And then the other option that we have is text message updates from the race. So larger races, this can be very helpful, is I could sign up for text message updates from the race that I just signed up for. And then we've actually had a race that had a thunderstorm that needed to delay their race. They were able to use this text message along with other forms of communication, such as email and social media, to let people know that the race was delayed. So giveaway description. This has been particularly helpful with virtual events, but I think anytime this is a really good selling feature or communication feature. So our giveaway or add-on feature allows you to put details in as well as an image in. So people, if you have unique sizing for your shirts or a description or how it's going to be shipped or how it's going to be picked up, you can put information like that in the description. So the participant then knows what to expect. This is also going to show up in the confirmation as well. So shipping address. We've done quite a bit of work, including integrating with the US Postal Service API to try to ensure that participants are putting in validated addresses. And we can also help to confirm that their address is real. So by, if that's not everyone in the profile is getting it to the same address, you can kind of check those things. We are working on international shipping and shipping software integration coming up soon. So hiding and organizing custom content. So many event directors are running into the issue of they've got some content that maybe they have put in the past, but maybe it's not relevant right now, but they may not want to get rid of it because they may want to update it and bring it back. We do allow you to actually hide content. And when hiding that content, it does not get rid of it. It just means that it's not navigable. So if you have things like virtual or your description of virtual or your packet pickup instructions that are different, you may want to just hide that for the time being, and then you can bring it back at a later date if you need it again. So we also have the ability for you to kind of have a more section or an expanded more section. So you can kind of set some different rules on how you want that to show up on the navigation of your page. So this allows you to kind of tighten up the number of options available on navigation on your race website or event website. So you can see the top and the bottom here. So the top where it's got the more and the drop down versus the sub menu here. So this is kind of a preference thing of how you want this to appear. So FAQ tabs, this is another one, especially if your event has a lot of complexity to it or you get a lot of questions. Spending a lot of time on FAQs is extremely helpful, and also including a link to it in your confirmation email so that when participants are thinking about it, if they store their confirmation email, which many people will keep their confirmation email until they attend the event, it also has the QR code, it has the barcode, it has maybe potential other instructions in there. The FAQs allows them, if they can click on that link, it'll tell them what they can do. Could they transfer their entry? Can they defer their entry? Can they get a refund? What other options do they have? You can include all these things in a particular FAQ page. So special considerations for 2021. Johanna likes to call this "it's normal-ish," so I think that's a good term. So one of the options that has been heavily utilized is event transfers. So the concept here is I've signed up for the half marathon. Maybe I'd prefer to do the 5K. I've signed up for the 5K. Maybe I prefer to do the 1 mile walk, things like that. You can set rules, cutoff dates, charge fees, and even allow certain events to allow transfers and others to not. So hybrid events. So this is one of the really great capabilities of our system is that you may have an in-person event and that's your primary focus, but you may still want to offer virtual. So within a single race, you can have a 5K and a virtual 5K. And so I could sign up for the 5K and my wife could sign up for the virtual 5K. So in the same cart, we can even pick different options. So the other beautiful thing about this is that the virtual participants can submit their results and the live results can be hosted in our system. So you can actually have both of those going on. They will be separate result sets, but again, it's trying to simplify so you don't feel like you have to have two completely separate race files for one single event. So I just mentioned this about submitting virtual results. So participants can search by name, they can search by email address or date of birth, and then submit their time into our platform. We also allow the ability to submit photos and things like that, and we'll take a look at that a little later. One of the options that you have for virtual events is you can allow participants to indicate they don't want to submit a time. That will put them towards the bottom of the results. It'll put them at the bottom net of anybody who actually submitted a time. But this is a great way if you get a lot of feedback that people aren't really that interested in submitting a time with their result, but they just want to kind of compete. So the other nice thing that we allow is the ability for participants to just submit a result by putting in their email address and the last 4 digits of their phone number, so no account required. It just makes it quick and easy for that participant to submit all their results. So virtual challenges. Last year, we had a lot of exciting and interesting virtual challenges. One of the coolest things that we have is the virtual map. So you can actually upload a course map into our system, and then your participants travel along the file and along the map. They actually can drop a little icon on there and see where they are. We've got some examples here of kind of the New Jersey shore in the state of Utah, and I can actually see if I was participating in this, where I am along the way. And this is done by a KML file. So you upload a KML file, there's lots of different sites that can do this, and that allows you to then upload this into our site. So another neat option that we have within the platform is milestones and badges for challenges. So if you reach mile 1, congratulations on starting your journey. You reach mile 10, congratulations for hitting your 10th mile. Or you can approach it as more. We've had a really great challenge that went along the Keys of Florida, is that it actually shows you different mile markers along the Keys and what is historical or interesting about that location. You also can be much more flexible. The example we have here is you've read a book. So they're doing a book challenge. So it's really flexible and allows you to be very creative with how you would engage your audience. So another neat thing is that we allow you to create custom badges. So they're 300 pixels by 300 pixels for GIFs, if I'm saying that correctly. You can build that in Canva. There's also Open Badge Designer. So these are actually live, or they appear to be live looking badges that can be a little bit more interactive. So I put this one as last for this section. You may have a need to postpone or cancel your event. We still support that. We have a bunch of great features around that. So participants can indicate, you pop this up on the page and they have to answer what they're going to do. And this allows you to also have a report as well as to the status of what participants have chosen to do. So fundraising with Run, Walk, Rides. So a really neat option that we have is the ability to add a donation checkbox at checkout. So you do have to have a charity set up within our donations and fundraising in order to use this, but you can kind of set up, you can see in this example here, they've got the charity of Lifeline Ohio and a donation amount of $10. And so if you're a charity partner with an event, this is a great way for you to kind of solicit donations at checkout. So fundraising minimums, one of the cool things that we support is if you, one of the really neat things that I've seen is we have a number of nonprofits that work with us who have entries to the Boston Marathon. They have entries to the New York City Marathon or any other major event, and they'll set up their registration and fundraising through our platform. We can then help them by saying, hey, we can enforce a fundraising minimum because this is a great opportunity to do a unique event. So say it's $1,000 minimum for fundraising. We actually store the credit card of that participant. If they reach their fundraising goal, we don't hit their credit card. If they hit $950, we would then charge them $50 to top them up to their $1,000 fundraising minimum. We also have the ability to indicate if the person has an invalid credit card and then let them know, there's an invoice coming to them to pay the difference. So Facebook fundraising, this is something that our team is very excited about. We talk a lot of customers about it. We believe Facebook fundraising is an incredible opportunity for nonprofits to raise the awareness of their fundraisers, because some fundraisers don't do a lot of email. They are very heavy Facebook users. So this allows them to seamlessly set up a Facebook fundraising page and then share that on Facebook. And it's a very seamless share, and they get lots of comments and notifications within the Facebook platform. And this all feeds into their fundraising goal on the RunSignup platform. So if they've raised $1,000 on Facebook and $1,000 on RunSignup, the best part is that it's talking to each other. So we also support milestones, badges, and fundraiser confetti. You can actually see this here. It's a really, really nice, encouraging just notification that you've hit your fundraising goal. And you also can, similar to the challenges, set up different badges within your fundraiser rewards. So Run, Walk, Ride communications. I'm gonna take a sip of water. So how do we build better communication and more effective service? So the first thing is, this is a feature I love. I see it on websites all the time, is you can either have a pop-up or a slide out of email capture. So this would be people who maybe come to your page, they're not sure if they're ready to register right now. They can then give them your email address, and then you can communicate with them. You could potentially send them an email about a coupon code, or just add them to your general marketing campaigns. So private level email. This is something that's becoming more and more important as your email list gets bigger. If you've got a smaller email list, and I'll roughly say, say 2,000, 3,000 emails or less, you're probably not going to get penalized by this as badly. But the larger your email list becomes, the more that you're going to want to set up white label email. What is white label email? What that is that you're actually going into the domain that you own and adding a record so that RunSignup can actually send from your domain. And this will increase your deliverability rate of your emails. So it's not a fee that we're trying to charge or anything like that. It's literally just a technical setup. We have a great blog post about how to set up private label email so that you can increase that deliverability rate. So the majority of our customers aren't affected by this, but as your email list gets larger and larger, and if you think that your email deliverability could be improved, this is an easy way to do that. We also support HTML. So if you have a designer or you have a particular theme that you want, you can actually import your HTML code. I would call this an advanced feature where you're plugging in the HTML because you're no longer really using our templates. You're deciding that you'd like to have your own template, but it does allow you to have a very particular branding look and feel. One of the more powerful capabilities of our system is the ability to use replacement tags. And so replacement tags allows you to variably plug into the email that you're sending out unique capabilities from our system. So we've highlighted a few things here, such as your digital bib, your individual results, your finisher certificate, how to log your activity. So these things are driven by the RunSignup platform, and they generate, in this case, either links or URLs that people can click on and then go check out their digital bib, go look at their results, check out their finisher certificate, et cetera. It's a really, really powerful tool. And this is just a sampling of them. There's a large, large number of replacement tags that do a number of different functions. So one of the things that I personally like to do when I'm helping with an event is I like to schedule my pre-race emails. And the reason for that is inevitably as we get closer to the event, you get a little stressed, time gets short, and you really want to make sure that you've got a very effective communication going out because you're going to get lots and lots of questions. So you can actually go in and schedule that email to go out at Thursday at 10 a.m. that tells them the who, what, when, where, how much, et cetera, where to park, what to do, et cetera. I love doing that and making sure it looks good. So I'm not worried about that on Thursday. Is it going to go out? Did I double check it? I'm not worried about that anymore. So the other thing that you can do is that you can schedule emails or target emails to particular groups. We've made this particularly simple. So you can look at and see that you have current participants that you can target or previous participants, and you can do interesting capabilities like excluding current participants and adding previous participants. So that'll actually scrub the list and say it's only going to send it to previous participants who haven't registered for this year. For those of you who really enjoy MailChimp, we have a MailChimp integration. You can actually pick what list or lists that you'd like to integrate. So if you want the 5K to go to one group, the 10K go to another group, you can use that MailChimp integration to do that. So ticket events. So one of the things that's really important for us to share with everyone is that if you have other types of events, fundraising events, we can help you with that. So the first thing about our ticket events is that we, similar to RunSignup, but it's more particularly important with ticket events is that we allow you to pick the fields that you would like to pick either for the entire cart or per ticket holder. So you can set different rules to say, hey, just for the entire account, here's the rules, or I want to collect this information for each ticket holder. We also support custom questions. So if you want to ask about a particular custom question, you can see here, what will you be drinking at the pancake breakfast? Choose a side. You can ask those types of questions, and it does support images as well. So ticket donation discounts. This is kind of one of the capabilities that the RunSignup and GiveSignup platforms shine. Is say the ticket is $10, and if I donated $50 or more, you could give a free ticket with that purchase or offer a discount based off the donation amount. So combo tickets, this is another really nice capability is that you can set a rule of if you buy 2 adult tickets, you can add an additional free kid ticket. So these are great ways to try to, build somewhat complicated pricing together, but in an intuitive way when someone's checking out. We also support the ability to type in or upload a CSV of offline tickets. So if you've sold tickets at your place of business or at somewhere else, and you want to make sure you have a comprehensive list, you can add those into the platform. So branded website cover pages. So I believe that websites are kind of ubiquitous now, and everybody kind of has one, but not everyone has a great one. And our goal is to give everyone a great website at no charge. It's just kind of part of using our site. So one of the great capabilities that we support is the ability for you to map an entire domain. So you can see on this screen, you can map over Scott Coffee Run. So you can actually type in scottcoffeerun.com. That website is actually powered by the RunSignup system. We also support subdomains. So if you wanted to promote run.yourdomain or walk.yourdomain or give.yourdomain, all that stuff can be mapped to our system at no charge, and it looks like it's completely integrated to your domain, but it's all hosted by RunSignup and all the security is managed by RunSignup. So cover pages, I like to call this a digital poster. When I first started running, there was posters for events all over the place. And I think of our cover page as the digital version of that. And we've made it very, very easy for you to make beautiful pages that are attractive for potential participants and even sponsors. Sponsors evaluate how much money they're going to give you based off of partly your website and your event. So you can have calls to actions. You can put beautiful images here, even plugging in videos. And it's really easy to move things around if you don't like it after you've initially put it together. So here's a couple examples of the cover pages. They're really, really clean, and they've got different looks to them. I know I get a lot of questions about do we have unique templates and things. The answer is kind of yes and kind of no. There is a vertical or horizontal theme, but you can add a lot of color schemes or different calls to action that makes each page look quite a bit different. So one of the other things that I really like is the 2 columns. So it allows you can see here on the left-hand side, it's challenging but rewarding, 5 stars. And that's from Michael Wardian, who's a world champion ultra runner. And then you've got on the right-hand side, you've got this kind of, clickable button. So you can have those types of visual cues for someone who's evaluating whether they're going to be interested in your event or not. We've got other components such as the countdown clock, which you can just literally click a button and now you've got a countdown clock to your event. So you can then see the custom actions, which I really like to embed kind of in the middle of the page. So if someone's evaluating the event, but they want to dig further, you can see here they've got the opportunity to find out more information, become a sponsor or volunteer. So the video, it is literally as easy as publishing your video to YouTube, plugging in the YouTube video ID, and now your race website or event website has a YouTube video. It's that easy. So data, this is something a lot of our nonprofit clients and challenges have been using. So the cool thing is that this feeds automatically from the GiveSignup RunSignup database. So as people are donating to your cause, it updates the thermometer and it shows up right on your homepage. This type of feature is really expensive with custom websites, and it's completely free and included in the platform. And the one last thing I wanted to mention about that is our virtual challenge. So if you're interested in potentially doing a virtual challenge, we do have a thermometer for the virtual challenge as well, such as total mileage. So event marketing. So how can you promote your event low cost or potentially free? So my favorite and many of our team members' favorite marketing tool is referral rewards. The idea of this is that you have a funnel, and the funnel is that participants are coming through and registering, and referral rewards amplify the bottom of your funnel, meaning if someone's actually bought your registration or participating in your event, they're hopefully going to have friends and family who might be interested in as well. And referral rewards allows you to incentivize that type of behavior. So a simple example here is if I referred 5 friends, this would allow me to get a $20 refund. And the great thing is that you can set the rules here. So if you want it to be 5 referrals equals $30, you can do that. If you would prefer it to be 5 referrals and you get a special long sleeve shirt, you could do that as well. Some of the other things that we recommend is make sure that you call this out on your website, make sure that this is included in your registration follow-up emails, and you may want to offer multiple different levels, especially if your event is more expensive, such as a $50 plus option or $50 plus event price. And then finally, we recommend recognizing your top referrers, meaning the people who are really engaged in the program. You may potentially want to give them awards as if they're someone who won the event. So another thing that we recommend is auto-applied coupons. So if you're running a Mother's Day special, a Father's Day special, a July 4th special, a lot of organizations do discounts around holidays and things like that, and you might create a coupon code. The really neat thing is that you can actually build a coupon code, and at the bottom of our coupon code page, you can actually build a URL, and it'll plug the URL out there. So you just copy it and then share that. So if you're putting that in an email, if you're putting that on social media, if someone clicks on that URL, it will automatically apply that coupon at checkout. We also support the ability for you to export Facebook custom audiences or Google custom audiences directly from our CRM. So you can build a list in our CRM of a variety of different rules and then export that as a Facebook custom audience or Google custom audience. So hopefully I can get my computer to, there we go. All right. So referral source tracking. So referral source tracking, what this is this is essentially Google Analytics built into your event website. So if you build a URL within our referral source tracking, this is under our promotion source tracking section, and then you say, plug that into Facebook or plug that into an email campaign, or you have a gym that's going to do a promotion, you can actually measure how many clicks and how many signups and how much in transactions and donations you've actually generated from that particular URL. So this is really powerful information to know. So if you're trying to understand what marketing activities that you're doing, are they actually working? This information will actually be then embedded into the individual participant's record. So if you look here on the bottom left-hand corner where it says Emma J, when you go to manage a record for a participant, we actually can tell you where this participant registered from. And this is also something that you can report upon or filter upon within our CRM. So if you wanted to target people who had registered previously from Facebook, that's actually built into the analytics of your event website. So you can see here that in our CRM list creation capability, there's different ways that you can build lists, but in particular, what we're highlighting here is the analytics. So we're looking at our LinkedIn post, our Twitter post, our Instagram post, and Facebook post. We can then say, hey, that's our social media group. We could build that list and target people who specifically have responded and registered from those sources. So it's a really powerful tool to be able to understand where your participants are coming from. So registration follow-up. So in our email marketing platform, we have automated emails. We have a number of different automated emails. One of the unique ones is our registration follow-up. So the concept is that after they register, say a day or 3 days later, you could send them an email. Thank you for joining the event. You can then call out your referral rewards. You could call out your fundraising goal. There's lots of different things that you could call out depending on what is important to you. And it'll automatically be sent to that participant after a certain number of days that they've registered. So you can see in this case, this example one, they're promoting their teams, they're promoting their social media, and they're promoting their referral rewards, which generally speaking, that would be my best recommendation of how to use registration follow-up. Excluding if you have a big fundraising goal or fundraising push, I would think putting the fundraising at the top would be the only other thing I would do. So event day. So we need to be very efficient on event day. So we've got a bunch of tools that could potentially help you there. So the first thing is that, more than likely, you probably don't want to be setting up kiosks anymore. One, because they're kind of a hassle, and two, people are much more adept at using their phones now. I like to say, if you can order DoorDash, I'm sure you can register for a race. So you can have a QR code that automatically takes participants to the registration page. You can generate a QR code. I believe we still have a QR code inside of our platform as well for easy use. If you've never used a QR code before, it's as simple as just opening your camera, hovering over a QR code like this, and it'll give you a notification that'll take you to the RunSignup page. So another thing is that, okay, so if I'm having people register on race day, I ask a lot of questions. Well, the beauty is that we've actually built fast registration by date. So we can detect by mobile, we can do date range, or we can even have a specific URL. Going back to that QR code, you can actually have a specific URL that a potential participant scans in order to register. And then what we allow you to do is set a bunch of rules of like what you want to skip so that you're getting the information you need, but nothing you don't need to ensure that participants are getting registered quickly. Like in this case, one of the things, they're skipping a lot of things, but one of the things they are leaving open, which is kind of interesting, is donations. So that's a big benefit, is that we can solicit donations even on race day, because some people may say, hey, I'll chip in another $5. We also do have an on-site registration. It has a unique URL. You can set a bunch of rules on that so that if you wanted to set up kiosks or tablets or things like that that people could register on, you have that capability. And there's a bunch of rules that you can set up, such as allowing cash payment, bib assignment, restricting it for particular events, or picking customized fields, etc. So both the GiveSignup and RunSignup platforms have check-in apps. We've recently updated and put new releases out for both of these apps within the past few months. They're really very, very clean. They look great. We've got a lot of documentation around them. And once you get comfortable with them, it's hard to go back. We allow you to if you use the camera in the phone, you can easily scan the QR code or barcode of the participant who's walking up, and it'll pull them up in the check-in app. And you can check them in. And if they've registered with multiple people, there's functions that say, hey, would you like to check in these other participants or ticket holders as well? This is kind of showing you some of the options within the check-in app. So you can kind of auto show the camera and focus in on that QR code or barcode. And then there's a bunch of different rules for presets that you can see over here in terms of allowing giveaway edits. Do you want to allow personal information edits? Do you want to auto show the camera? Do you want to validate the bibs, prevent duplicate bibs, etc.? So there's quite a bit of power within this check-in app. So corrals, this is something that large events have typically done. And in the pandemic, we did have people using corrals to kind of limit the number of people that would be starting at any given time. But this is a great tool that allows you to collect information such as, estimated finish time to ensure that, the faster people are maybe in the early corrals, but it can be used if you needed to limit your event to say, hey, the first 50 people, the next 50 people, and there's a bunch of different rules and kind of corral builders where you can assign people based on ability or start times and things like that. So digital bibs, last year, this was probably one of our biggest hits. Lots of people gave us great compliments, which we appreciated about having a digital bib. We actually saw pictures of people who printed these out. So it's really easy to either use one of our templates, or you could upload a design of your own where you can have the design and look that you want, and potentially highlighting sponsors and things like that. And it allows you to then plug in the participant's name, bib number, and then you can see how this My Big Run virtual race, they've got a really nice call to action at the top of the page. And this is all easily built within the system, and it's included in the confirmation email and can be sent out later using that replacement tags that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So you can also add into digital bibs additional custom information beyond we saw the name and the bib number, but you can add in the event name, race name, you can add the group team name, you can customize the font, the color, and you can even add custom text there as well. So another thing that we support is the ability to customize results on your page. So and some of this is going to be a little hard to see, but there's an edit function within our results page that you can hide fields that maybe aren't relevant for your particular event. I've seen people who have decided to hide, in this case, you could hide gender, they can hide bib, they could potentially hide country. So if you want to clean up that page to only have the information you want to show. And the cool thing is that if you decide to change your mind, you just click the edit again and you can unhide things. So finisher certificates is something that's been around a while. Again, last year we got a lot of use out of it, and we were happy to see that. We have, again, pre-made templates that you can choose from, or you can upload your own design. And we make it really easy to pick, drag and drop the different fields that you want to show up on that finisher certificate. Take another break here. All right, so virtual photos. Last year, this is another one that was very, very popular, is particularly with our virtual events, is the ability to upload one or multiple photos. We do have some AI in the background that are checking for inappropriate things, and you do, as the event director, have the ability to hide photos that maybe you prefer not to be showing. And this is something that can work for live events as well, but in particular, it seems very popular with virtual events because they can show their achievement or show that they're participating in your event. So beyond events. So some of the additional things that we can potentially help you with on the GiveSignup side is that we've got ticket events, we've got donation forms, donation websites. Of course, we've got the Run, Walk, Ride platform, and then also just generally fundraising campaigns. So showing you donation forms, these are quick and easy. A great example of donation forms that you may be thinking about for later this year is Giving Tuesday. So if you didn't have a great solution for Giving Tuesday, or you wanted something that could be stood up really quickly, this will work with your same payment account as long as you're a 501c3, and then you can quickly and easily set up a donation form to collect donations. So we also support do-it-yourself and peer-to-peer fundraising campaigns. A great example is birthday fundraisers. So if someone in your community would like to do a birthday fundraiser for your organization, they can quickly stand that up. They also can connect it to Facebook. So if they wanted to promote it through Facebook, and then some people may donate through the GiveSignup platform, some people may donate through Facebook, and the goal is completely in sync at all times. So we have covered all of our slides, Johanna. I'm guessing we have a fair number of questions that to talk about. So I've got a little bit of time to cover some questions.
Yeah, so great job on the presentation there, Bryan. The only thing that really comes to mind here was just to explain the difference between a challenge and a virtual race, with the hybrid and, moving forward with the features there.
Yeah, so a virtual race is, if you understand the concept of what an in-person race is, hey, I'm going to do a 5K, I'm going to do a 10K. That's a virtual race is a do-it-yourself version of that. So you're kind of setting a prescribed distance, such as a 5K, 10K, half marathon, or whatever distance that you choose. And those participants are going to go out and participate on their own and submit their result. A challenge is a longer engagement. So generally speaking, it would be around 30 days. So roughly 30-day challenge of, say, you're trying to do 100 miles in 30 days, or I'm trying to cross the state of Virginia in 30 days or something like that. And so the idea is that more days than not, the person is logging some sort of activity. It could be cycling, it could be running, it could be walking, it could be running. It could be reading books. Again, the creativity is up to you. And they're continuing to log that, and they're reaching milestones or goals along the way. And there's some element of competition and some element of community that's going on there.
Great. And then the other question we had is, if you already have your own website, is it worth it to set up a cover page as well?
So that's a really good question. And the answer to that is probably yes. And the reason is that some percentage of your people are going to be coming across the RunSignup page. So if you're doing a great referral rewards program, when someone socially shares from the RunSignup platform, they have to share the RunSignup link. That's just the rules of Facebook. They're not going to let us share a URL that we don't own. So you want to make sure that if someone is socially sharing the page, they come across your page from a friend or a family member, or however they come across it. The RunSignup page for some events is as low as 10 to 15% of their traffic. And for some events, it's all of their traffic. Most people fall, 30, 40% of their traffic is coming through RunSignup. So I think it's an important sales and marketing channel to understand that some people are coming across our page and our page alone. And so we want your site to be featured in that, especially if that's important to you, but it's just human nature. People click on a link and they make a snap decision if they're interested or not.
Great. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. And if anybody is watching this recording, you can send your questions to info@runsignup.com.
Great. Johanna, do we have additional instructions for attendees for the next session?
Yeah, so we have a little bit of extra time here if you need to go get a snack. We'll be back at 4:10 Eastern for a conversation with two of our customers about how events and nonprofits can work together to really achieve each other's goals, and what kind of technology they use to support their events.